From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Monday morning. We have a wind advisory that's in place for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. This runs until 7 this morning. This includes places like Pendleton and Milton Freewater, and we're on the tail end of this wind advisory as winds are only gusting upwards of 15-20 miles per hour at this point in the Blue Foothills. But you can combine that with some of the temperatures for this morning. It does feel a little bit cooler, although we're getting that downsloping effect in Pendleton, so that's why it's much warmer there. 60 degrees. The rest of us are in the low to mid 40s. Also, visibility is a concern for this morning as we do have some patchy areas of fog up and down the valleys, also in portions of the basin. So in those areas, take it slow on the roadways and use the low beams. On top of all that, we have a storm system that's moving in, and you can see that the bulk of this is lining up along the Cascades, although some of it is starting to run out ahead in portions of Yakima and Benton counties. We'll continue to track that moving off towards the east throughout the rest of this morning. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. We have a storm system for Monday and Tuesday. We have a storm system for Wednesday and Thursday. Excuse me, a little bit drier and cooler for Friday and Saturday, but lots to talk about throughout the course of this work week. I'll tell you more about it coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
5:01 now coming up. 2 people are dead after a head-on crash in Benton County. What we know about the investigation so far. Plus, the Pasco Fire Department continues to investigate the cause of a house fire that happened just as the weekend was getting underway, why firefighters could not enter the home to fight the flames. And it is a very special day. It's Veterans Day. There are many ways you can honor vets in our region. We'll tell you about a few of them as we get the morning underway.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
We hope you had a great weekend. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Good Morning Northwest at 5:02 now. I'm Austin Reed. Jessica Jalal has the morning off, so let's get right to your top stories. New this morning, 2 people are dead after an ATV and a motorbike crash in Benton County. The crash happened on South Dag Road just after 9 o'clock last night. When crews got to the scene, they found 2 people on the road. They say both had died at the scene. Authorities say it appears the motorbike caught fire in the crash. It was put out quickly. At this time, the cause of the fire is under investigation, but it appears the drivers hit one another head on. The identities of the 2 people are being withheld at this time until their families can be notified. We will bring you an update on this story as soon as more information is confirmed. The Richland Police Department is investigating a crash that happened late Sunday night. The crash happened on Culliam Avenue and Gillespie Street just after 6 p.m. At least 1 person was taken to the hospital with injuries. Their condition is not yet known. We will update you with information as soon as it is released. And fire officials say 1 dog died and a person was taken to the hospital with injuries after a house fire in Pasco. The fire broke out Friday just after 10 p.m. in the 4400 block of West Nixon Street.
Since January and a worker strike, Cadleck and its workers
and we apologize, this is the wrong video.
The strike came after workers.
Hopefully you can hear me. In the meantime, fire officials were at the scene within a few minutes of the call, but found flames and heavy smoke coming from the windows and roof. Here's that video. 1 person suffered smoke inhalation and an injury to their foot. They were taken to the hospital for treatment. 2 dogs escaped the fire, but firefighters found the body of another dog inside the home that did not make it. At one point, firefighters had to leave the home due to electrical arcing, and they continued to battle the blaze from the outside. It took nearly 9 hours before the fire crews could leave the scene. The house has significant damage and can no longer be lived in, according to fire officials. All right, now to a follow-up and to a story that you just saw for a moment. Healthcare workers for Cadleck have ratified a new contract after 10 months of negotiations and action. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen tells us how things led to where they are now.
After multiple bargaining sessions since January and a worker strike, Cadleck and its workers agreed on a new contract. The strike came after workers and the hospital management were unable to come to an agreement on pay and other working conditions. The union gave notice of the strike on August 10th. The two groups had been negotiating contract terms for months. More than 1,100 Kadlec technicians and service workers went on strike, with support from SEIU 1199 Northwest, claiming that Kadlec performed unfair labor practices to their existing wages and staffing demands. During the strike, Kadlec contacted an outside company to bring in workers during the strike. Once the strike was declared over, some controversy occurred when workers returned to work, and those who were not scheduled to work the day the strike ended were met with hospital security who would not let them in the building. SEIU 1199 Northwest President Jane Hopkins filed an unfair labor practice lawsuit because of it. After 10 months of negotiations, the hospital and union agreed to ratify a new contract for the workers. The new contract gives workers more money, more staffing investments, and safeguards in the workplace. Kadlec sent Apple Valley a statement about the contract saying, in part, "We are pleased to share that Kadlec and Service Employees International Union, SEIU 1199 Northwest, have reached an agreement on the terms of a new collective bargaining agreement for the caregivers, in-service, and tech roles represented by SEIU, which was ratified in late October." Kadlec's commitment from the very first bargaining session over 10 months ago and throughout the bargaining process was to negotiate a fair and market-competitive agreement for our caregivers, and that is what we did. Now, we reached out to SEIU 1199 Union President for a comment and have not yet heard back. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Dan, thank you for that. Almost to 5:07 now. The race for U.S. Congress in District 4 still isn't over. As of now, incumbent Dan Newhouse still leads Jared Sessler in the race, but the margin is still too close to call. A total of 8 counties are still tallying up votes. In 5 of those counties, less than 65% of the votes are in. This is as of late Friday. Now, we spoke with Sessler also on Friday and on kind of what he is doing now.
Well, just look forward to getting all of the votes counted, and obviously we would have loved for the race to not have been this close, but there's a bunch of factors contributing to that, including a pretty high Democrat turnout for Dan Newhouse, which is disappointing. More than 50% of his voters are Democrat.
The election will officially be certified on November the 26th at 9 a.m. We also asked Newhouse's team for a comment, but they did not get back to our requests. Right now, get the latest election results just by using your phone. It's all up on our election page on our website. You can pull out your smartphone, open up the camera, and hold it to the QR code that's on your screen right now. Also, make sure to download our Apple Valley News Now app. 5:08 now, check this out. Oregon's Dylan Gabriel is now at the top of the pack, setting an NCAA record for touchdowns. His pass early in the second half of Oregon's 39-18 win over Maryland on Saturday put his total number of touchdown passes at 179, breaking the previous record that Case Keenum set from 2007 to 2011. Gabriel would add another TD pass before the game was over. His total now 180. Still ahead on Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest on this Veterans Day. The community of Tuskegee University is grieving after a shooting during homecoming leaves 16 people in the hospital. 1 person is dead. What authorities know so far about what led up to the shooting. And as we leave you to break, a live picture from our Kennewick camera. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. There's a lot going on today, parades and more. He's tracking it all for you when we come back. Stay with us.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office Thursday, November 21st at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
This winter, escape to the mountains of Leavenworth with Beaver Valley Lodge, where fresh snow blankets the world and adventure is just outside your door. From skiing Plain Valley ski trails to peaceful snowshoe trails, the choices are endless. After a day in the snow, return to Beaver Valley Lodge to warm up by the fire, sip hot cocoa, and let your worries melt away. Book your winter getaway today at Beaver Valley Lodge, where you come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Senior living is more than just a home with Avamere at Englewood Heights. Experience the joys of life with engaging activities, delicious chef-prepared meals, and more to enhance your retirement.
We have beautiful landscaping, plenty of places to just hang out outside. We have this big, beautiful wraparound porch. A lot of people are scared when they move into assisted living that they're going to lose their independence, but it gives you your independence back. I'd love to show you around and help you with anything that you need.
Meet the traveling trio, each helping to protect their money with Chase. Tools that help protect, alerts that help check. One bank that puts you in control. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Election night 2024.
Live election night.
As the votes were counted,
We've got some hot ones we are following for you right now.
one winner emerged. Apple Valley News Now.
Polls are closed, but there are people still in line.
Apple Valley News Now is on your side.
Next ET, we're defying gravity with the cast of Wicked at their Hollywood premiere.
It's very crazy and wild.
Plus, only one show is backstage at the MTV EMAs in Manchester.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
I feel happy about my future now.
I can see myself with Joan the rest of my life.
My intentions are to get down on a knee.
I had only been in love with one person, more than one now.
A portion of the news is sponsored by Kubota.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a bit of a temperature tour for this morning as we're seeing temperatures that are in the 40s in Kittitas County, 43 in Ellensburg, 40 in Cle Elum. Then in the Yakima Valley, we're seeing the same thing with temperatures in the low to mid 40s. In the lower Columbia Basin, it also looks like most of us are in the 40s, 41 for Mesa, 42 in Benton City. Mostly light jacket weather. Then look at this, some of the winds, and again, we have that wind advisory that's in place for the Blue Foothills, but some of those winds down sloping off of the foothills. And so when air slopes down, it sinks, it compresses, and it warms. And so that's why Pendleton is at 60 and Walla Walla is at 43 degrees. So kind of a hodgepodge of temperatures there for this morning. Here's your day planner, and you can see through lunchtime it's going to be just about the same forecast. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. We're going to have some showers on the map, but come time for 4 p.m., this is when our weather starts to diverge a little bit, as we should see a decent amount of sunshine in the valleys, but still clouds hanging pretty tough in the basin and in the foothills. Even some showers left over into the afternoon in the foothills. So for today, we're going to be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. Winds gusting out of the south and west, mostly between 20 to 25 miles per hour. And then for tonight, the winds will calm down for some spots, but still gusting between 20 to 25 miles per hour for the basin. And for the foothills, we'll have some patchy areas of fog up in the Cascades for the valleys and for the foothills. Overnight lows mostly in the 30s and 40s, but we have another storm system that we'll deal with into Wednesday and Thursday. I'll tell you what that one's going to be all about coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. 5:14 is your time. Tuskegee University is in mourning today after homecoming weekend celebrations turned to tragedy. Officials say an 18-year-old is dead and at least 16 people are injured after someone opened fire at the historically black school in Alabama. Amy Kiley has the latest.
One popped off right in front of us. There was multiple gunshots.
At least one person is dead and 16 are injured after a mass shooting at Tuskegee University yesterday.
At that point, I just remember, get down and run.
Witnesses say it happened during the HBCU's homecoming weekend.
All of a sudden, people are pushing and shoving. And I didn't think nothing of it because it's like a crowded environment. People are trying to get through. But instead of it being like one person pushing and shoving, the entire crowd shifted.
Officials say a suspect arrested in connection with the incident is charged with possession of a machine gun. They say he was caught leaving the scene with a converted firearm. The Macon County coroner identifies the person who died as 18-year-old Latavion Johnson. Officials say he wasn't a student. They say the other victims include a dozen people taken to the hospital with gunfire injuries and 4 who got hurt in other ways.
Our hearts are broken, and we're reminded of the importance and the fragility of life.
Even if I didn't get shot firsthand, my life has still been impacted by this.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Classes at the university are canceled today and grief counselors are on hand. It is still unclear if the suspect who was arrested has an attorney just yet. 5:15 now. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, a report on cancer and why Hispanic people and those who are Black are seeing shorter survival rates. What's behind it? That's coming up next. Stay with us.
You know you want a burger, so make it my Smash Jack, rated the best burger in fast food. It's even got more beef than a Big Mac. Chin up, Ronald. Maybe you'll get a participation trophy. My Smash Jack, now on sourdough.
Welcome to Jack in the Box. Hit by a big truck? It could be from bad air hoses in the brake system. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, and at my law firm, we have a special team that knows how trucks work and what goes wrong. We know how to prove it was the truck's fault. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the experience and knowledge it takes to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Life can be hard. With Culligan, your water doesn't have to be.
Here in Washington, we love the word "and," like socks and sandals, flannels and beanies, wheat fields and mountains. And now with FundHub WA, saving money and helping the climate. Find grants to bring resources and funds to your community. Get incentives to grow your business and transition to clean energy. And discover rebates that will save you money at home and on the go and reduce emissions. Find funding opportunities today at fundhub.wa.gov.
Step into the Prosser House, where great food meets comfortable atmosphere. We invite you to relax in our cozy space. From classic dishes to chef-inspired creations, and now we're raising the bar, literally. With our newly renovated bar, we're serving up crafted cocktails, your favorite local brews, and award-winning wines. Plus, we're proud to announce that the Prosser House is your restaurant showdown champion. Special night out or just a break from cooking, experience the award-winning difference at the Prosser House.
Next Live, we're in Palm Springs with Cheryl Lee Ralph and Kyle Richards, plus the Ultimate Pickleball Challenge.
We're ready for anything that comes our way.
Look out!
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
You're craving tacos. Not just tacos, birria tacos. Actually, birria tiny tacos. Sauced and loaded and served with my new birria-flavored buttermilk ranch. You won't find all this at that other taco joint.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
The Kraken battle the Blue Jackets at Climate Pledge. Apple Valley News Now Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track wet weather that is moving off towards the east. You see it's lining up along the Cascades. Some of this starting to run out ahead in Yakima and Benton counties. Pretty light for the most part for right now, but we'll go ahead and show you what happens during the rest of the day with Futurecast. You see by lunchtime, this main band of rainfall is mostly going to be out of our hair. We'll just be left over with some scattered showers at this point, and then into Tuesday, Well, you can see for tonight, we will be left over with some showers up in the Cascades, also in the Kittitas Valley. Snow levels dropping at this point. We'll show you snow levels in just a second. But into Tuesday, the day is going to start off mostly dry, and here's that next round arriving during the late afternoon to early evening, and this will impact us as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. So first, here are some of the rainfall totals that we're expecting for today and tomorrow. This is subject to change. You can see maybe 1.5 inches of water for the Cascades, upwards of 1/2 inch for the Blues, maybe 1/4 inch for the Kittitas Valley and for the Blue Foothills, but less than 1/10 inch for the Yakima Valley and for the Lower Columbia Basin. On to snow levels now. They're going to start way above our heads for this morning, around 6,500 feet, but dropping off to 4,000 feet by a little bit later today. So places like Stevens Pass and Blewett Pass could see some snowfall. We're thinking maybe 3 to 4 inches on White Pass on US 12, maybe a few inches for Stevens Pass and Blewett Pass. Not much doing from this storm system. We are expecting some more snowfall, much more snowfall for this Sunday, Monday storm system, but we have another one in between now and then as we have another storm system for Wednesday and Thursday. This one overall is looking much wetter, but the snowfall output isn't looking that significant at all. High temperatures staying mostly above average through Thursday. Then you can see we'll flip that switch and we'll be mostly average, if not below average, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Drier Tuesday during the day, but more wet weather expected late Tuesday into Wednesday, turning cooler by Friday. In Yakima, wet weather likely Monday through Wednesday. A few showers left over for Thursday and Friday, then temporarily dry for Saturday. For Ellensburg, cool and damp this week, turning even cooler with highs stuck in the 40s this weekend. For Hermiston, a bit of a break in the action to start Tuesday, but another round of wet weather impacts us late Tuesday into Wednesday, drier but cooler into Thursday and Friday. Then for Walla Walla, wet weather likely all throughout this week, slightly drier by Saturday, but more wet weather possible by Sunday.
We will need those raincoats. All right, Josh, thank you. 5:21 is your time. Now to your health. The disparities are shocking. Cancer is the second leading cause of death among Hispanic people. Mandy Gaither has more from a new report which suggests a possible advanced cancer culprit.
In the U.S., African Americans and those who are Hispanic are more likely to be diagnosed with an advanced stage of cancer, and at that point it's more difficult to treat and oftentimes incurable.
We wondered, how much of this was biology and how much was this sort of a modifiable social determinant of health?
That's why researchers with the American Cancer Society analyzed data from nearly 2 million cancer patients who are ages 18 to 64 and had one of 10 major cancers between 2013 and 2019. They found that a large reason for racial and ethnic disparities in advanced cancer risk is lack of health insurance coverage.
One can imagine a situation where one does not have health insurance, that one ignores symptoms earlier on, and someone doesn't go on for the routine screening tests.
Researchers say health insurance coverage is key to having access to high-quality health care, which can lead to disease prevention and early detection.
Ensuring that folks all have access to coverage, to care, I think is really important to reduce deaths and suffering from cancer.
The organization says separate data also highlights disparities in breast cancer, with Black women being less likely to be diagnosed with the disease than white women, but 41% more likely to die from it.
So I think step one is finding the cancer earlier on, and step two is ensuring that we have treatment that's equal for folks, regardless of who they are.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now, the lead author of this study says securing health insurance for everyone is critical and could improve racial and ethnic disparities in the stage of cancer at the time of diagnosis and therefore improve cancer survival in these groups. 5:23 on this Veterans Day. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, we are taking a look at some lighter news, your Hollywood Minute. We're talking new movies and boy bands. We'll be right back.
Hey babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE?
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes?
Dad, 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks. Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month, no trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular.
The holiday season is in full swing at Shelby's Floral. We invite you to celebrate the harvest of Thanksgiving and the joys of Christmas. Step into a wondrous world filled with autumn's rich colors and the magic of the holiday season. Discover beautiful holiday decor, seasonal centerpieces, and gifts that capture the spirit of giving. Be inspired for the beautiful holiday season around every corner. Come feel the joy at Shelby's Floral in our new location on Clearwater in Kennewick.
North Idaho's Priest Lake in early fall.
This time of year is my favorite. It is absolutely stunning. It's quiet, the lake is calm, the trees are turning.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Thank you guys for making Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest and ABC's Good Morning America the most watched morning news on local TV.
Thank you.
What's new, what's now, and what's next? Plus first alert weather every 10 minutes. Wake up with Apple Valley News Now.
We're on your side.
On your side.
When you get hurt on the job, you never know if you're going to get paid by Labor and Industries. Let Bothwell and Hamill fight on your behalf for your workers' comp. We can often increase your compensation. The sooner you call us, the better. If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411 for a free consultation. Bothwell and Hamill.
Welcome to Chris's Recovery Shop.
Is your boat upholstery starting to look worn or has tears? From tops to seats to panels, we have you covered. Do you own a business and need repairs to seats or furniture? From agricultural to restaurant, we have you covered. Got a classic car that needs a little interior TLC? From seats to armrests and panels, we have you covered here too.
Chris's Recovery Shop in Yakima,
where we keep a good thing going.
U.S. Cellular has the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro.
The first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence.
Spread the word.
And don't forget camera control. It'll blow you away.
Get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 5:26 on your Monday, Veterans Day. Austin Reed alongside Josh Colbreth, and I'm filling in for Jessica Jalal today. You know, the actor known for such roles as Han Solo and Indiana Jones has another big role coming up, but this is really big.
Yeah, so David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
You want me? Come and get me!
Harrison Ford red hulks out in the latest look at Captain America: Brave New World. Anthony Mackie takes the title role in the Marvel movie, which hits theaters February 14th.
I'm thrilled to be joining the amazing cast of Percy Jackson and the Olympians as Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom.
Andra Day is descending from Olympus to join Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Production on Season 2 of the Disney Plus series began in August in Vancouver, British Columbia.
I love boy bands. I'm proud to say I'm in a boy band.
I told you this is gonna be crazy.
Boy band culture gets the documentary treatment in Larger Than Life: Reign of the Boy Bands. All of your favorites are here, taking you through the troubles and triumphs of the music genre. Larger Than Life: Reign of the Boy Bands debuts Tuesday on Paramount Plus. Getting in sync in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, so do you have a favorite boy band? I know that was kind of before your time, but...
Well, the boy bands of my era would be like One Direction, BTS. Wasn't personally into those, but you know, no hate to anyone that does enjoy them. What about you? Were you NSYNC? Were you Backstreet?
Backstreet Boys all the way.
That's what I figured.
Did you you were guessing that? All right. Well, still ahead on Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest at 5:30. Yakima's interim chief of police addressing the city after a shocking act of violence in a grocery store parking lot that left 3 people dead. Plus, today is Veterans Day, how you can honor veterans across our region, and of course, Josh will have your new work week weather forecast. Stay with us.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple making repairs more accessible. The company now offers replacement parts for iPhone 16 and 16 Pro models, including cameras, displays, and batteries. Prices range from $99 to $379, with tool rentals also available. Next, the latest test version of WhatsApp has a major bug causing issues for users. Android testers report that opening chats turns the screen completely green, making the app unusable. The bug affects the most recent beta update, which introduces features like interactive stickers and channel search. Finally, Google Maps is testing new vehicle icons for personalized navigation. Users will soon have up to 8 color options and 5 new car icons, including a Jeep and Tesla. The feature is currently only available for iPhones, but can be expected on Android soon. If you don't have this feature, maybe your GPS is broken, so don't take it the wrong way. Those are your Tech Bites.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check the weather first before sailing.
It's gonna get nasty later.
Yep.
Hey, perfect day for sailing, huh? Have fun on land.
I'll go tell the Coast Guard.
Yep.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
There's something going around the Gordon home. Good thing Gertrude found Delsum. Now what's going around is 12-hour cough relief. And the giggles. The family that takes Delsum together feels better together.
Spoons, they're out. Panera's new ciabatta dippers are in. Each melty sandwich paired with a perfect portion of soup is made to dip. Go for the French dipper or spicy chicken dipper. No spoon necessary when your sandwich is built to do the dipping. Only at Panera for a limited time.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Just after 5:30, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Austin Reed, in for Jessica Jalal this morning.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
So, it is going to be rainy.
Yes. This week is going to be very cool, it's going to be very damp, and it's starting off a little bit windy for this morning. We'll go ahead and take a look at that wind gust map. And you can see the winds now are cranking up out of the south upwards of 30 miles per hour in Pendleton, and you'll see what that's doing to our temperatures here in a second. But this is a pretty isolated wind incident this morning, as it is pretty isolated to the Blue Foothills. The rest of us seeing some fairly light wind gusts. Now on to the temperature map. As you can see, the wind gusts and the winds in the air are downsloping, and so whenever air slides down a slope, it sinks, it compresses, it warms, and so that's why Pendleton, where we're seeing the strongest wind gusts, that's where we're seeing the highest temperatures for this morning. 60 degrees there, but where we're seeing lighter winds in Walla Walla, well, the air isn't sinking as much, and so it's cooler, as we're seeing temperatures there in the low to mid 40s. Also, fog is a factor for this morning. Reductions in visibilities for the basin and for the valley. So in those areas, you would want to take it slow, and you would want to use the low beams. We are tracking some rainfall this morning, mostly lining up and down the Cascades, but some of that is running ahead of the Cascades. Here's your umbrella cast for today for the Tri-Cities. Small chances of light showers today, mainly before 2 p.m. After that, should be dry. So for today, will be cool, high temperatures in the 50s. I'll have a zone-by-zone look at today's forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. 5:32 is your time. We start this half hour with continuing coverage on a deadly act of violence that hit the Yakima area just as the weekend was getting underway. The shooting happened just after 6:30 p.m. on the 2200 block of West Nob Hill Boulevard in the parking lot of the Safeway grocery store. When officers got to the scene, they found a 19-year-old man dead from gunshot wounds. A 20-year-old man who also suffered gunshot wounds was taken to the hospital, but he later died. Officers say they chased a vehicle matching the description of the suspect's vehicle. They later found 2 people inside the car with gunshot wounds. The 2 people were taken to the hospital and are facing charges of homicide. It was the second deadly shooting in less than 24 hours apart in the city of Yakima. Interim YPD Chief Sean Boyle released a statement to the people of Yakima saying, in part, quote, "These types of incidents are unacceptable. Commit that our department will work with our local law enforcement partners and the community to address the issues." He went on to say, "We at the Yakima Police Department are committed to making our community safer," end quote. Well, 5:33 now, the man accused of stabbing 10 people over the course of 2 days in the Seattle area is being held on a $2 million bond. Some of his alleged victims still fighting for their lives in the hospital. Reporter Bridget Chavez tells us more about the man arrested for the crime.
A 37-year-old suspect remains in the King County Jail after he appeared in court Saturday afternoon. He is accused of stabbing at least 5 people in Seattle's Chinatown International District. Our cameras were only allowed to show him from the neck down, and we are not naming him because he hasn't been formally charged. The horror unfolded just after 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. One of those attacks caught on camera.
I saw the surveillance footage, and it's really scary having someone come up behind you and attack you.
Seattle City Council member Tanya Wu was at the suspect's first appearance.
This person brought a lot of fear into the community.
Wu says she and other volunteers who are part of the CID Community Watch came out last night to show support and to help people feel safe.
So we want to be present to show that we are not afraid, we're resilient, and we are here for community.
Police are still trying to figure out what the motive was behind the attacks, but did note that all 5 victims were white and said the suspect was heard saying Black Power while he was in a recorded interview room at SPD headquarters. 4 of the 5 victims remain at Harborview. At this point, the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says the case has not been referred to them as a hate crime.
We anticipate this coming week to get a case referral from Seattle Police investigators, and we'll make a charging decision on that right away.
Prosecutors argued that because of his criminal history, including 9 felony convictions and an outstanding warrant, he should be held on a $2 million bail.
So the court at this time will set bail at $2 million.
That was Bridget Chavez reporting. The people who live and work in that district of the city says they are facing violent crime almost every day. The King County Prosecuting Attorney says it's going to do its part to bring accountability. Closer to home at 5:36 now, let's take a look at some of the Veterans Day events available throughout the region today. We're going to start in the city of Kennewick, where the public is invited to the Regional Veterans Memorial in Columbia Park. This event starts at 11 a.m. There will be a flag raising by the Knights of Columbus Honor Guard and the Pasco American Legion Honor Guard. A 3-round rifle volley will be done by the Kennewick VFW Post, and a bugler will play to the color. There will be speakers and elected officials attending. Also happening at 11 tomorrow morning, the Pasco Veterans Day ceremony will take place at City View Cemetery and features a solemn program, patriotic songs, the changing of the flags, and a wreath placement to honor veterans. Mayor Pete Serrano will serve as a keynote speaker. Today, the McAllister Museum of Aviation in Yakima is preparing for a big celebration. Today, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., the museum will host people of all ages to experience dozens of displays on local veterans and aviation. Admission is free. This museum located at 2008 South 16th Avenue. The city of Yakima will honor veterans with the 2024 Veterans Day Parade in downtown Yakima today. The VFW Post 379 is hosting the event. The parade starts at 10:45 a.m. at the intersection of Yakima Avenue and 6th Street and continues west on Yakima Avenue to 6th Avenue. The parade will end at 12:30 p.m. Well, in Northern Oregon, the city of Hermiston and American Legion Post 37 is hosting a special Veterans Day breakfast at the Hermiston Community Center. Doors open at 7:30 and the breakfast starts at 8 a.m. It will be catered by the Pheasant Blue Collar Bar and Grill. Local veterans will be featured and recognized during a program, and there will be the presentation of colors. Prosser Memorial Health is hosting its annual Veterans Day breakfast this morning. That starts at 7 a.m. It goes till 10 a.m. at the Prosser Senior and Community Center. Veterans and their families are welcome to come and enjoy a breakfast. An appreciation gift will also be given to veterans. Just a quick note, today flags will be lowered to half-staff starting tomorrow after the death of former Governor Daniel Evans. Evans passed away on Friday, September 20th at the age of 98. A member of the Republican Party, he served as governor of the state of Washington from 1965 to 1977. He also served as a member of the U.S. Senate from 1983 to 1989. Governor Inslee asks flags to remain at half-staff until Thursday, November 14th. 5:39 on your Monday morning. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest. Monday is about making your money better. Could your home office use an upgrade, though? This morning's Consumer Reports tells you how to upgrade without breaking the bank. But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth tracking your Veterans Day forecast. As we were just talking about so many local events happening this morning, he's breaking down the forecast when we come back. Good morning, everybody.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Why do people come to the University of Washington? They come here to find people who will inspire them, move them, change them. They come to solve big problems and prepare for careers where they can make a difference. They come to cheer on their Huskies in the greatest setting in college football. If you want to change the world, this is where you start. For passion, for possibility, be boundless.
Deck the halls with pies so jolly. This holiday season, Pie Sharks has the perfect sweet and savory mini pies to bring cheer to your table. We have lots of flavors to choose from, and right now our pies are bursting with festive flavors. Grab a dozen, share a smile, and make the holidays deliciously unique. Delivery and pickup orders available, or visit us at 110 South 4th Avenue in Pasco, where every pie is a little holiday surprise. Pie Sharks, take a bite.
Bathfitter does showers? That's right. We offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers in all shapes and sizes. We can even convert your bath into a shower. How about that? With our seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you'll get a beautiful new shower to fit your needs, guaranteed for life. Bathfitter's been around for 40 years, and we've been experts at showers for just as long. Get yours today. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
This morning on GMA, Dwayne Johnson is here live with a Moana-sized big surprise for one superfan that only he could pull off. And this superfan has no idea this surprise is coming. This morning, get ready for one happy morning on
Good Morning America.
It's country music's biggest night.
The CMA Awards, with performances by Luke Bryan, Ashley McBryde, and more. Plus, a must-see collaboration, Post Malone featuring Chris Stapleton.
Let's party Nashville!
The CMA Awards live November 20th on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a cool day as we'll be stuck in the 40s and 50s in Kittitas County. The winds here will be light overall as the winds will gust out of the south and southwest for today. So the valley wall should protect the valley from the strongest of the wind gusts. It's not necessarily going to be the same setup in the Yakima Valley though, as we'll have winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 20 miles per hour. These high temperatures today in the mid 50s, and then for the lower Columbia Basin will be a little bit closer to 60, 50 59 in Benton City, 59 in Umatilla. These winds also gusting out of the south and west, upwards of 25 miles per hour. And then for the foothills of the Blue Mountains, we'll also be up around 60 degrees, already up around 60 for this morning in Pendleton due to the downsloping winds. But these winds, for the most part, later today gusting upwards of 25 miles per hour out of the south and west. Now let's talk about this storm system in terms of the big picture, as this storm system is really going to be divided up into Monday and Tuesday. So here are the rainfall deficits that we're expecting heading into this storm system. Here are the deficits that we're going to be left with in the wake of this storm system. We will see some improvements, 5 to 15% improvements for the valleys, 5 to 10% improvements for the basin and below foothills, but we'll still be left over with the deficit overall. Then in terms of our snowpack is doing great for this time of the year. We'll get 5% improvements for the upper Yakima Basin, about 70% improvements for the Natchez Basin due to the higher elevation, but not much improvements at all for the Walla Walla or Umatilla Basins. But we do have more storm systems to discuss for the rest of the 7-day forecast period, and I'll tell you about those coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thank you. 5:44 is your time. Even if you don't work from home every day, many of us do it from time to time. Making sure you're comfortable is key to any good setup. With some help from the experts at Consumer Reports, adding a few upgrades can boost your office and maybe even your productivity too.
Setting up a comfortable and ergonomic home office can be challenging.
I've tried at least 6 chairs in the last 3 years.
Until she finds the right one, Rachel Kent works from an old wooden chair in her home office.
The wooden chair is not ideal, but it doesn't cause me lower back pain like the fancy chairs I tried to buy.
To help folks like Rachel find comfort while working from home, Consumer Reports ergonomic experts recently evaluated budget office chairs.
When looking for an ergonomic chair, the one thing I tell people to focus on is adjustability, because that's going to allow you to fit the chair to your body.
CR says with the Staples Dexley chair, you can adjust the height, armrest, lumbar, and headrest. If you're working on a laptop, a stand can raise the top of your screen to eye level so you don't strain your neck looking down. The Insignia ergonomic laptop stand requires no assembly or tools to adjust the height. While using a mouse, a wrist rest can keep your wrist in a neutral position to help reduce hand or wrist discomfort. Consider this small and supportive one from Belkin. And if your feet can't rest flat on the floor, try a footrest like this option from Mount It to bring the floor to you.
With a footrest, you're going to help support the feet and take some pressure off the underside of the thigh, which you'd find if your feet were just dangling.
No matter how long it takes, upgrading your space to fit your needs is worth the work.
When I find the right chair, I'm going to feel like my home office is finally complete.
This is Marcy Whalen.
All right. Well, Consumer Reports also says it can be helpful to try chairs out at a store before buying or from a site with an easy return option. That's key, right? All right. 5:46 is your time. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the morning sprint. Everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. We've also got what's trending this morning, including this story about a lottery winner who almost wasn't. And Josh has your first alert forecast when we come back.
She was lured to your apartment.
Judy is back in the courtroom with all new cases and only on Apple Valley News Now.
And I'm just getting started.
Judy Justice.
In front of millions of people.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
The dryer still isn't working. What are we going to do before the holidays?
Swing into Fred's Appliance today for our Black Friday Super Sale and experience unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. This 2-in-1 removable agitator lets you choose how you wash and care for your clothes with 2 ways to wash. It's twice the washer you have at home. Get it today and save $500 on the Whirlpool Hybrid Washer Dryer Pair. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Through December 31st, receive rebates up to $1,850 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Now's the time to get a great deal
deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
U.S. Cellular has the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro, the first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence. Spread the word.
Apple Intelligence is personal, private, and oh so powerful, you dig?
And the all-new camera control will blow you away!
U.S. Cellular has the amazing new iPhone. Also, Doug ate all the office cake.
Show me the tape.
See the tape tonight at 10!
Right now at U.S. Cellular, get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Next ET, we're defying gravity with the cast of Wicked at their Hollywood premiere.
It's very crazy and wild.
Plus, only one show is backstage at the MTV EMAs in Manchester.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Priest Lake in fall. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track all of this wet weather moving off towards the east. It looks like the bulk of it is lining up along the Cascades, but we do have some showers running out ahead of that in Yakima County, Benton County, Morrow County. We'll go ahead and show you what happens with all of this throughout the rest of this morning with Futurecast. You can see it's going to get out of here pretty quick. By lunchtime, this band is mostly going to be over the Blues, and then our mode after that is going to shift to just some scattered showers. Now, we could have a few more showers left over by midnight, specifically up in the Cascades and also in the Kittitas Valley. But watch what happens into Tuesday. Tuesday is going to start off mostly dry, but by 4 or 5 p.m. here comes that next wave of both rain and snowfall. That's going to impact us as we head into Wednesday and also as we head into Thursday as well. But first, let's tabulate some of the wet weather we're expecting for Monday and Tuesday. Now, this is subject to change, but we could have 1.5 inches for the Cascades, maybe upwards of 1/2 inch for the Blues, up to 1/4 inch for the Kittitas Valley and Blue Foothills, but probably less than 1/10 inch for those of us in the Yakima Valley and in the lower Columbia Basin. And there will be a wintry element to the storm system as, well, for this morning, snow levels are going to start way above our head, but they'll stabilize between 3,500 to 4,500 feet over the next couple of days. So in terms of snowfall totals, we could see over the next couple of days, maybe between 3 to 6 inches on Stevens Pass and White Pass, but for the rest of the passes within our viewing area, not expecting that much. But we'll have more cracks at snow over the next 7 days. Here's going to be one for Wednesday and Thursday, and then this storm system for Sunday and Monday we're keeping an especially close eye on. But for this Wednesday and Thursday one, in general, this is going to be a wetter storm system. The snowfall, I'm not really that impressed with it, but again, as we'll have some cooler weather settling in for this weekend, that storm system for Sunday and Monday looks like it could be a bit of a snowy one. Stay tuned for that. But first, the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Drier Tuesday during the day, but more wet weather is expected late Tuesday into Wednesday, turning cooler by Friday. In Yakima, wet weather likely Monday through Wednesday. A few showers left over for Thursday and Friday, then temporarily dry for Saturday. In Ellensburg, cool and damp this week, turning even cooler with highs stuck in the 40s for this weekend. In Hermiston, a bit of a break in the action to start Tuesday, but another round of wet weather impacts us late Tuesday into Wednesday. Then for Walla Walla, wet weather likely all throughout this week, slightly drier by Saturday, but more wet weather possible by Sunday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Your time right now, 5:52 on this Monday. It's Veterans Day. I'm Austin Reed in for Jessica Jalal. If you're just waking up, here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. The Benton County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fatal head-on crash between an ATV and a motorbike. It happened late last night on Dagg Road. Both drivers died at the scene. 2 people are dead and 2 have been arrested after a violent confrontation in the parking lot of a Yakima Safeway store on Friday. The Yakima Police Department's interim police chief, Sean Boyle, says he and the department are committed to making Yakima a safer place. This comes after a deadly shooting also happened on Friday. We will have more on this later tonight on Apple Valley News Now. The city of Kennewick is hosting the Regional Veterans Memorial in Columbia Park today. The event starts at at 11 a.m. There will be a flag raising by the Knights of Columbus Honor Guard and the Pasco American Legion Honor Guard. There will be speakers and elected officials attending. The city of Yakima will honor veterans with the 2024 Veterans Day Parade in downtown. The VFW Post 379 is hosting the event. The parade begins at 10:45 at the intersection of Yakima Avenue and 6th Street. Go to AppleValleyNewsNow.com and take a look at other events happening around our region. And we have a quick reminder. You can get the latest election results at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. In your national headlines this morning, Tuskegee University is in mourning today after a homecoming weekend celebration turned to tragedy. At least one person is dead and 16 are hurt after a mass shooting there yesterday. Officials say a suspect arrested in connection is charged with possession of a machine gun. They say he was caught leaving the scene. Officials also say the 18-year-old who died wasn't a student. Classes at the university are canceled today and grief counselors are on hand. President-elect Donald Trump says solving the immigration problem is one of his top priorities. Trump plans to name Tom Homan to lead immigration and customs enforcement. Homan served as acting director of ICE during the president-elect's first term in office. Turning to your business headlines this morning, Nissan is slashing thousands of jobs and planning deeper cuts to production due to declining sales. The Japanese automaker said it will cut 9,000 jobs and shrink global production by 20%. Nissan executives will also take voluntary pay cuts, including its chief executive, who is taking a 50% cut in monthly compensation. The company plans to focus on building its electric and hybrid lineups in China and the U.S. Bitcoin has reached a new record high. The world's largest cryptocurrency briefly touched $80,000 for the first time over the weekend on Sunday. It has since continued to rise following President-elect Trump's victory, which investors believe is a bullish sign for the crypto industry. And in your health headlines this morning, it's the most commonly used federally illegal drug in the U.S. Researchers are now putting out a warning, though, about cannabis use during pregnancy. One of the children studied who had prenatal exposure to the drug, researchers found many had both cognitive and behavioral impacts. The CDC says cannabis use can affect memory, learning, attention, decision-making, coordination, emotion, and reaction time. More dairy farm workers caught bird flu than the number reflected in official counts. That's according to a new study by the CDC. 7% of tested workers on dairy farms where cows were infected with bird flu caught the virus themselves. Now, officials say all workers on farms with infected cows should be tested, even if they don't have symptoms. There have been 46 human cases of H5N1 reported in the United States this year. All right, 5:56 now in your sports headlines this morning. The Tri-City Americans hockey team is on a hot streak. The team snagged its 11th, that's right, its 11th victory in a row over the weekend. The win came after a 7-2 game over the Red Deer Rebels Saturday night. The Americans wrap up their 6-game homestand tonight as they take on the Calgary Hitmen. All right, 5:57 now. Let's talk about some stories that a lot of people are talking about right now. A woman from the state of Illinois is $1 million richer after she cashed in a lottery ticket she forgot she had bought.
Wish it was me. Well,
Yeah,
the
right?
woman was shopping at a supermarket in Elmhurst last month. She decided at the last minute to buy a Lucky Day lotto ticket. I guess it was her lucky day. That's a daily game played in Illinois. The drawing was on October 20th, and the woman never checked her ticket.
But a couple of days later, she found that the ticket was in her purse and checked an app to see if she had won anything. Much to her surprise and delight, the woman found out she won $1 million. The woman says she hopes to use her winnings to travel more. All right, there you go. You never know.
Well, I think most of us would be lucky to just find like a spare $20 bill that we forgot about in our pocket. And she found a spare, in all essence, $1 million bill. So
I found two spare $20 in my jeans couple days ago, and I was like, yes, this is great, you know.
That's big stuff.
Yes, it is. All right, still ahead on Good Morning Northwest in our 6 o'clock hour. Details on a fatal crash in Benton County. Plus, why a candidate for Congressional District 4 says the race isn't over just yet. And then, Josh, what do you have for us in our next half hour?
Yeah, we have a wind advisory in place for the Blue Foothills. Also, some wet weather is on the way. A lot of moving parts to this forecast. I'll talk about all of them coming up at 6.